Hello and welcome to my Furniture Lab deck profile. This deck is a lot of fun and it can play turn 0, which means it can be very annoying for your opponent to deal with. In the main deck, we are playing 2 Kuklok. Kuklok we can send from our hand to the graveyard to activate a normal trap the turn it was set if we control a Labyrinth monster. This is a quick effect, so it's really cool that we can use this in our opponent's turn, and it can special summon itself back from the graveyard or add itself back from the graveyard to our hand if we send a card or cards from our hand to the graveyard to either activate a normal trap or activate a Labyrinth card. This means that we can use Kuklok in the draw phase, for example. If our opponent goes first, send this to the graveyard, and then we can use one of the other 2 furniture pieces, send itself to the graveyard and another card from our hand, for example, as cost. And then we can set a big welcome labyrinth from our deck, activate the Kuklok, special summon itself back, activate the big welcome labyrinth because we then control a labyrinth monster, special summon a lovely from our deck, bounce the Kuklok, and hand rip our opponent for 1 if they go first. It's really, really cool. This combo gives us setup for the next turn and it interrupts our opponent if we go second. It's really, really nice. But you only need 2 Kuklok because once you've gotten into the Kukloks, you don't need more than 1 unless your opponent like decrows away a Kuklok or hits it with a Bestial. Then we are playing 3 of the other furniture pieces because these are just good searches as well. We got a 2 as well, so we can build a Chaos Angel with this. And this one adds itself back to the hand from the graveyard. Both of these are really, really nice. They only really become unviable if you don't have any more Labyrinth spells or traps in the deck. But if you're at that point, you're probably losing the grind game anyway. Then we are on 3 Absolute King Backjack. Backjack is really, really nice discard fodder because we can discard this to the graveyard with our furniture pieces. Then if this is sent to the graveyard, we look at the top 3 cards of our deck. We don't excavate them, so our opponent doesn't know what hits them. And we can banish this from our graveyard during our opponent's turn, excavate the top card of our deck. If it's a normal trap, we can set it and activate it the turn it was set. If not, we could just send it to the graveyard. This has multiple really, really cool uses. The biggest one is that you, for example, can hit off the backjack a debarrier and debarrier your opponent in their turn if they are going first. It's really crazy what you can do with this. You can also like give you good draws with extravagance. Like you can say, oh, in the top 3 cards, I excavate like an Extradeck, a debarrier, and the field spell. And then you're like, I would like to top deck the Extradeck in the next turn, and I would like to debarrier my opponent in this turn. So I'll do debarrier on top, then Extradeck, then field spell. So I can banish Backjack to use debarrier on their turn, and then open the Extradeck. It's really crazy what this card can do. This we can also get to the graveyard if we link it off into a relinquished anima. Then I'm on 3 Ariana. I was on 2 Ariana for the longest time because you don't need 3, but if you play it like this, it's nice to have 3. You can play more Charmies in the main deck as well, and then you really shouldn't play more than 2 Ariana. But if you don't play any Charmies in the main deck, then 3 Ariana is the way to go. This on summon searches us any Labyrinth card, and if a monster leaves the field by our normal trap effect, we can draw a card. So this is really, really good in the grind game, even if we like don't have anything else to search. The only thing that hurts is if you like your opponent imperms this. But for game 2 and 3, they are probably gonna side out the imperms anyway. Then we are on 3 Arias. Arias during the main phase can send itself to the graveyard and either set a normal trap from our hand, which we can activate that turn, or special summon a Labyrinth monster from our hand. It's a really, really crazy card because this can also special summon itself back from the graveyard if your opponent chains something to a normal trap or to a Labyrinth card. So this is really, really good in the grind game as well. It's a level 6, so you can make Chaos Angel with an Ariana and an Arias. It's a crazy card. It's one of the cards that allows you to play turn 0 as well because you can like discard Arias, set yourself the Ruma Karma Cannon. It's really, really good. The only thing that you have to keep in mind about Arias is that it has 2500 defense. So it's bad in the Regenesis matchup because then they have a monster with 2500 defense on field and they can special summon their guys. We are then on one Lady Labrynth. This is really cool in the grind game as well, because you can special summon this from your hand if you activated a normal trap or a Labyrinth card that turn, and it becomes untargetable and indestructible by card effects if you control a set card. And when a trap card is activated, so even if your opponent activates a normal trap card, you can set a normal trap from your deck. Because this is a when effect, your opponent can interrupt this if they just chain like a quick play spell to your normal trap, and then you cannot activate the lady. That's a bit painful, but it's still really, really good that this can just get you more normal traps from the deck. This also allows you to play cheeky normal traps in your side deck, like Eradicator, and then you can use the Coup Clock to activate the Eradicator the turn it was set. It's really, really cool what this can do. It's kind of disgusting what this can do, even, I would say. Because this allows you to play so many cheeky one-offs in the side deck if you want to. And finally, for the monsters, we are playing one Lovely Lab. Lovely is great because this says that our opponent cannot respond with monster effects to the activation of our normal traps. So our Big Welcome cannot get Ghost Belt, cannot get Ashed anymore. So if you opened Welcome and Big Welcome, you can always use Welcome first to threaten a Lovely summon, because otherwise your opponent can use Ghost Bell on the Big Welcome, and we don't like that. This also is able to, every single turn, set a normal trap back from our graveyard. So if you play against like Ryziel Mitsurugi, you can every single turn set back a cheeky normal trap that we get in our side deck that completely kills them. You can also like loop Simul Archfiends against Malice, loop Dimensional Barrier. This is a really, really good card, and just resetting a normal trap from your graveyard every single turn is very nice. This also destroys a card in our opponent's hand or on their side of the field if a monster leaves the field by our normal trap's effect. We got ways to make monsters leave the field with our normal traps. So this allows us to hand loop turn 0, gets us set up, is crazy in the grind game. Labyrinth in general has a really, really good grind, unless your opponent has a hard counter to the deck, like Fire King, for example. For the traps, we are playing 3 Big Welcome, because Big Welcome gets us anything in the deck. We can either special summon a furniture piece from our deck and then just add it to the hand, because then we can use the quick effect in the hand, or we can special summon a lady and then use lady's effect to special summon herself back, or we just use this to trigger our Lovely. This also has a cool graveyard effect where we can like banish it from our graveyard to get a bounce, which then again triggers the Lovely. So this is really, really good, and we want to play this at 3. Welcome, instead, we only want to play at 2, because this can reset itself from the graveyard. But this doesn't bounce, so we can special summon an Ariana with this a bit easier. For the other normal traps, we are playing 2 Transaction Rollback, because this can copy any of the other normal traps. If you play around Fuvaros, for example, because if you go first, your opponent will probably just keep the Fuvaros in their hand and wants to chain it to one of your Big Welcome traps or Welcome traps, then you play into Duster, because if you wait until the main phase, then your opponent can just start with a Duster and then a Trap Trick is dead. So you instead use Trap Trick to get yourself a Transaction Rollback in that case. It's nice to play 2 in the main deck. I for some time played 1, and I for some time played none even. I might cut it in the future, but right now I would still play 2, because you can discard this with furniture pieces as well. Transaction Rollback really isn't horrible, unless you go into time. Then on 2 D-Barrier, because D-Barrier we can access via Trap Trick as well, and via Backjack 2 Similar Archfiends, because this is pretty much D-Barrier, but it also hits linked decks, because D-Barrier doesn't. This isn't a turn ender versus Malice. Like, they can still make 1 Link 3 monster. If you somehow get this activated after they use their Splash Mage, then that's perfect, because then they are locked into just the Splash Mage. But your opponent probably will get this telegraph that you want to activate it against them anyway. Then 3 Daruma Karma Cannon, because this pretty much hits any deck. It's good in the grind game. It can protect your stuff from like your opponent swinging. It can give you another turn if you just want to survive. The Roomba Cover Cannon is a really, really cool card. And finally, 3 Trap Trick, because this is essentially any other trap card in our main deck. For the last Labyrinth card in our main deck, we are playing a Labyrinth. This has a few cool effects. This gives all of our Labyrinth normal traps a non-targeting pop during the resolution. This is crazy because this makes our Welcome Labyrinth remove a monster from the field, for example, which then again allows us to trigger our Lovely to get another pop. It's really, really cool. This is just gives you a way stronger grind game, because this also says that when you activate a non-Labyrinth normal trap, you can special summon a fiend from your hand or grave, which means you can, for example, loop Chaos Hunters that we play in the side deck. You can just resummon Arianas to get searches. You got access back into your Lovely. It's really, really, really cool, because otherwise, if you want to get the Lovely back, you have to summon it with a big Welcome Labyrinth. But this way, we can just summon it via our field spell. Sometimes it's a bit bad when you open the field spell but nothing else, but at 1, it's still a really, really cool card, especially because we oftentimes have access to our big Welcome and Welcome anyway, and then you got something else to set with the furniture pieces. And finally, for our last card in the main deck, we are playing 3 Extra. I decided to list this last because this makes the Extradeck way more expensive. I had to lend some cards from a few friends, and I want to thank all of my friends who lent me cards, because I do not own 3 Chaos Angel, I do not own 3 Typhon, I neither do own 3 Anima or 3 Muckraker, but my friends helped me out and I'm very glad for that. So Extra, only play this if you can afford it. You can play 2 as well, but I would only play 2 if you play like Charmies in the main deck maybe. It's a great card. Like even if you draw into an Extravagance with Extravagance, you can still just discard it for the furniture pieces, so it's never horrible. And because Lab slows the game down quite much, it's not bad to have another Extrav in your hand, because you can just use it in the next turn. You rarely use the Extra deck, but some cards are very important, so I'm playing them at 3. I'm playing 3 Anima, because Anima, for one, allows us to link off the backcheck, and we don't have another way to link off the backcheck and get a great monster on our side of the field. The only other monster you could play is like Almirage, but Almirage isn't a board breaker like Anima, so Anima is way better than Almirage. We can then even use the Anima and another monster on our side of the field to make an SP. SP I'm only playing at 1, because if we want to go into the SP, then we are going second, and then we know that we can just not use the Extra if we really, really need the SP, or we can like say, yeah, it's worth the risk, we can still use the Extra. So I'm only playing 1 SP. If you wanted to, you can cut the Dark or cut the Dugaris and play a second SP though. But for now, I'm only playing a single SP. Then the other really important cards in the Extra deck, we are playing a 3 Muckraker. This allows you to, for one, protect your board, and it allows you to summon back Lovely, because Lovely, if this is in the graveyard, it's kind of hard to get it out of there. It's nice because this can like resummon Chaos Angels as well, and then trigger the Chaos Angel. Oh, by the way, you can summon Chaos Angel with the field spell too, because Chaos Angel is an on-summon effect, not on-synchro summon. Yeah, there's really, really funny things you can do. Then 3 Typhon, we are also playing in the main deck, in the Extra deck, as a 3-off because of Extravagance, because sometimes we Fiend lock ourselves, but Typhon even is a Fiend monster. So we can go into Typhon even if we Fiend lock ourselves, and it's a crazy board breaker. Like you can normal summon Backjack, just go into a Typhon. Detach 1, you can still trigger your Backjack. You got a great board breaker on the field in Typhon, and you don't need more than 1 summon anyway. Like, sure, this is Furniture Lab. You can do a few more special summons if you wanted to, but you don't need to. So Typhon is always a great board breaker. It's really, really good versus Ryzeal, especially. It's like decent versus Mitsurugi. Yeah, it only really stops this lady and Nibiru, but we're not playing Nibiru, and we don't care if our beat sticks don't get their effects. Like this still has its continuous effect, and it's still a beat stick. Then 3 Chaos Angel, because Chaos Angel we can either make with these two or these two or these two. Yeah, Chaos Angel is a crazy card, and with our field spell we can just resummon it over and over again. This also gives us protection if we want to stall for a bit. And the last 3 cards in the extra deck are a Dark, because we can steal an opponent's monster with this and then make an SP if we wanted to, or we can just steal an opponent's monster with it and we don't have to use the monster to make an SP. A Dugaris, because Dugaris we can make with 2 Arianas, and this is just a good card. Like, you can boost your monsters to really high attack. If you want to swing over towers, you can draw 2, discard 1, you can revive a monster from your graveyard. This is just an all-rounder, and it's still a fiend monster. You could play Baguska over this instead as well, but I really like Dugaris, and Dugaris came up multiple times, so I can only recommend playing it. In the side deck, I'm playing 3 Fuvaros, because this is the cheapest Mulchami right now, and I could afford playing 3 of it. 2 Purulia, because I did not have the funds to play a third one, and I sadly had no one who could lend me a third Purulia as well. 2 Meowls, for the same reason, as I don't have a third one. But I can already say, if you plan on playing Furniture Labrynth, you should be playing every single Charmy at 3, because it's just so good. Like, I played against Mermaid. Draw phase, nothing from me. Stand by main. Then he does an effect to summon from the deck. I do Fuvaros. He goes, okay, Fuvaros. I guess I'm gonna take the L. I chain a second Fuvaros, and then I'm drawing 2 cards every single time they go into the deck or extra deck. It's so nice. Or like Meowls against Malice. Chef's Kiss. The Charmies are just so great, because you go second and you don't just draw into resources, you draw into hand traps. You can like Arias into your normal traps because of this. You can easier get your back checks. You can get your furniture pieces. You can get graveyard set up for the next turn. It's so cool to play the Mulchamis. And I'm a bit sad that I don't own these at 3, but they are kind of expensive. So you can play different normal traps instead of this as well. A different dimension ground is a cool one. Eradicator Epidemic Virus. There's another virus card. I'm gonna put it up on screen here or here. So you've got different options, but I would, at the very least, recommend playing 3 Fuvaros, because this isn't that expensive. It's like 15 bucks, and it's crazy good. Like, you could main deck this even as well, but I don't like to. The other cards that we are playing in the side deck, I already mentioned it. 3 Chaos Hunter. We sometimes want to banish cards during our opponent's turn as well. Look at Backjack, for example, and for that reason, Lancia isn't as good. But Chaos Hunter is a fiend, so we can even summon it back with our Labrynth. That's really crazy. Like, we can loop this against Malice infinite times, pretty much. This just is an FTK. Yeah, I'm on 3 Dogwood. I very oftentimes lose in time when I go to bigger events. And I was forced to play Dogwood during Nationals as well, because I've had people who stalled against me to win in time, multiple times. One of the times I didn't draw Dogwood, the other time I drew into the Dogwood, but it didn't do anything because it was like too late. I don't know. I got, I think, 3 losses in time at Nationals. And yeah, Dogwood is in theory a good card, especially if you can draw into it with the amount of Mulchamis. But I wouldn't play it because it just feels bad in the end. I didn't side it in every single time that I went into time, and you're just not gonna see it. It's probably better to just play a normal trap that can burn, that you can set with Lady or with Trap Trick. So Dogwood you can ignore on the side deck. I would play rather Eradicator Epidemic Virus, a DD Ground, and maybe a second Eradicator Epidemic Virus in the side deck. Because then you got some kind of spell trap removal, which I'm not playing at all. And it's really nice to play against the trap deck. They set 5, and with all of your wombo combo turn 0 plays, you can like set an Eradicator Epidemic Virus and activate it in their end phase, declare trap, and blow up the whole back row. The last card in the side deck that I already mentioned earlier as well, Mischief of the Gnomes. We can loop this against Mitsu-Raziel. It's very, very, very good against them. And lovely, just resetting this every single turn is crazy. I had multiple Mitsu-Raziel matchups already where I did D-Barrier, Declare Xyz, Mischief of the Gnomes as well. Like, they just can't do anything. If you activate this against Mitsu-Raziel, it's oftentimes just a handshake moment. They sometimes can still play, but it slows down the game to such a degree that you probably win the grind game anyway. Yeah, for shoutouts, I just want to shout out all of my friends again who lent me cards for Nationals. I've had a blast with this deck. I'm gonna upload a vlog of Nationals soon as well. You will be able to find a link down in the comment section below or in the description of the video below. If you want to see any other decks, just write them down in the comments. The next deck will be the next video will be a video about my Melfi deck that I gifted to my fiancée, and afterwards we'll see. Yeah, I hope you all stay safe. I hope you all have a nice evening or wherever you are. I want to thank all of you who subscribed to this channel over the last few weeks, because we've gotten an increase of subscribers again, and we are close to 1,000. So maybe we can reach the 1,000 still this year. Who knows? If you're new to the channel, feel free to leave a sub down below and comment the deck that you want to see next. Until then, see ya.